What's up guys, Zach with Shivering Pixel here. This is the Analogue Pocket, and today I'm here to tell you whether or not this guy is still worth picking up in 2024. Let's get started. Released on December 13th, 2021, the Analogue Pocket is a handheld device that uses FPGA technology, which essentially replicates the performance and experience of Game Boy games and beyond at the hardware level. In practice, this should give you a significantly more accurate handheld console experience than you'd find via software emulation using your phone, your tablet, or your PC. The Pocket has a 3.5-inch backlit 10x9 LTPS LCD display at a resolution of 1600 by 1440 pixels, making it exactly 10 times the resolution of the original Game Boy. The resolution also allows for a variety of display options, so you can get what is probably the most authentic Game Boy experience out there. The device is chock full of buttons, including a standard D-pad, which feels satisfying to press, A, B, X, and Y face buttons. The X and Y buttons are concave like the Super Nintendo controller, which I think is a very nice touch. The Pocket also has clicky L and R shoulder buttons, as well as a start, select, and analog button, which gives you access to a menu where you can resume, quit, access save states, settings, and more. The underside of the Pocket has a Game Boy Link cable port for multiplayer between Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance consoles, a USB-C port for charging as well as connection to the Analogue Pocket dock, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. The device has a slot in the back that accepts Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games, as well as an adapter for Game Gear cartridges, and the upcoming adapters for the TurboGrafx-16, Neo Geo Pocket, and Atari Lynx, set to ship sometime in February of this year. Using any physical cartridge will give you access to a wide variety of aforementioned display options, as well as the ability to immediately create and load save states, a feature that may actually be the first of its kind, according to Christopher Tabor, founder and owner of Analogue. As of Update 1.1, the Analogue Pocket runs OpenFPGA, Analogue's proprietary platform for third-party development of FPGA-based video game console cores. This means that you can access a huge variety of gaming consoles, handhelds, and even arcade cabinets straight from the Pocket's SD card slot. Acquiring and updating cores can be quickly and easily done through Matt Pinella's Pocket Updater utility, which I will link to in the description below. Now, let's finally answer the question, is it worth picking up one of these in 2024? The answer is, well, it depends. If you're an absolute sicko like me, and you have a huge library of physical cartridges, and you value as authentic of a handheld experience as possible, I would say absolutely, it is 100% worth picking up. Especially now that the 2.0 update is out, and devs are slowly adding display filters to existing cores. Also, at least in terms of its design, I think it is absolutely beautiful. I also think the display is beautiful and gives you a much better experience than you would on an original console, in terms of the motion clarity as well as the color accuracy and richness. In terms of ergonomics, this does feel fine in the hand. I have rather large hands, so it can get cramped up after a couple of hours of gameplay. There are third-party handles that you can slide onto this and make the ergonomics way better, but I have yet to pick one of those up and test them out. However, if you don't neatly fit into the category of sicko, or you're on the fence, I'd say it's a matter of a few key considerations. The first is if you're willing to pay its $220 plus tax and VAT asking price. This is a boutique product targeting a niche buyer. It also has a premium feel and uses higher end components like its screen and hardware, so it's priced accordingly. I think the price is pretty fair for what you're getting in 2024, especially after all of the updates, but you might feel differently. This also only supports handhelds up to the GBA and consoles up to the 16-bit era. Like, we're pretty obviously not going to see DS or PSP games on here, and we're more than likely not going to see any 32-bit consoles on here, like the PlayStation, Saturn, or even like the 32X, due to the performance limitations of the Cyclone 5 and Cyclone 10 FPGA chips. Also, only a handful of OpenFPGA cores currently support save states. That includes the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Gear, NES, WonderSwan, Tamagotchi, Sega Master System, SG-1000, PDP-1, and Space War. If any of those sound like deal breakers for you, there's also a huge variety of cheaper emulation-based consoles, like from Anbernic. Alternatively, you can use your phone, your PC, your tablet, your Steam Deck. Any one of those will provide a pretty solid emulation experience, maybe not as accurate as FPGA and clearly unable to use cartridges, but it'll get the job done. Bottom line, I think the Analogue Pocket is a rad little device that surpasses the original consoles it replicates in virtually every way, aside from the nostalgia factor that you get from playing with an original Game Boy or Game Gear. And as of 2024, the Pocket is, in my opinion, still the best handheld way to experience your old Game Boy games and discover old games that you may have missed. If that experience sounds like it's worth the price of entry for you, and you can put up with the handful of smaller issues and shortcomings that I mentioned earlier, I think the Analogue Pocket is well worth purchasing. And as of this recording, you can pick up a black or white Analogue Pocket right now from Analogue's website. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it informative. If you like it, let me know. If you don't, thank you for watching regardless. More videos and a Patreon are coming soon. Please look out for them. Bye-bye.